All right, Kaylee, we are going to initially start right from the very beginning in case you've had some difficulty accessing your data files. It sounds like you already have them, so some of this may be redundant, and you may find some material that I have also covered in previous videos that you've watched. If so, I apologize for the redundancy, but I want to make sure that everything is covered that needs to be covered to help you be successful. So first of all, in order to get the data files, and it's on actually in your textbook on page, let's see, what is that, 15, 16, 17, 18, and it's under the preface, and it's called Accessing Data Files. So we're going to go to the browser, and we're going to put in www.cengagebrain.com. And then we're going to search by author. Except you have to put in the right author. I think it's Toland. Let me see what. Okay, I'll try that again. It's Tony, Toland. And we are going to go with Adobe Photoshop CS6, which would be this one. And then, of course, we want to go to the free materials, which is here. Whoops, free materials. And then we want to access it now. And then we're going to go to select a chapter, which in this particular instance, I think we're working on chapter 1 yet. And then you're going to download the data files. This may take just a moment. Now this is a zipped or a compressed file, so when you download the file, it's going to come in a format that you normally can't open. So that you can't open or access the files immediately. You'll have to decompress it first. And if you're on a Mac like I am, you just double click on the zipped file and it automatically decompresses or uncompresses. I'm not sure which the correct terminology is, but makes it accessible to you. If you're on a PC, you may have to right click on that zipped file and then do a decompress or for that. Now again, this takes a little bit of time because they're Photoshop files and they're a little bit larger. So I'll be back in just a moment as soon as this gets done downloading. All right, now you'll see that my file is currently downloaded. So again, with my computer, it automatically decompresses and it opens it up where I've saved the zipped file. So this is the zipped or the compressed file, and this is a chapter 1 lessons, which was in the zipped content. So we're going to go there and we are going to open up lake.psd. And that automatically opens in Photoshop in my instance. Now you may need to go to File and Open under Photoshop in order to access that. Again, depending on what your defaults are set at. So now beginning on page 4 in chapter 1, it starts a magic tour. And under the lesson, the quick photo makeover is what you should be doing with this photo. So if you haven't already, you should install Photoshop CS6 Extended. And we're going to launch Photoshop from the File menu, which we've already done that. And we've opened up lake.psd, which is right here. And I did that kind of quickly, so hopefully you followed along with that. Should be visible with the Tools panel to the left, which it is. This is the Tools panel. And then the menu bar is located at the top. No, I'm sorry, the menu bar is located at the top, which is, I'm assuming that they're talking about these items under the primary menu item. And then the panels are over here on the right. So from the menu bar at the top of the screen, we're going to choose View, and then we're going to choose Fit on Screen. Now, if my interface is a little different than yours, it's because I'm working in Photoshop CC. If you're at the school or if you've done as the textbook has indicated, you would download CS6 in order to access the lesson files or in order to access Photoshop. So it may look a little bit different, but we'll basically be the same process. Then we're going to go to Photoshop Preferences, Units and Rulers. Now this is on a Mac. If you're on a PC, you're going to go to Preferences, you're going to go to Edit, Preferences. So if you're on a PC, you would go here and find Preferences under this drop-down menu. But since I'm on a Mac, it will be under Photoshop, Preferences, and then we're going to ultimately go to Units and Measures, or Units and Rulers. And then we are going to set the ruler units to inches, if it's not already, and then click OK. All right, then we're going to select the crop tool, which is in my interface. It's here under the tools bar. You can also press C to access it. And then this may be a little bit different because on CC we have this straighten. I'm not sure that you have that available to you in CS6. So if you don't find that, that's why. It's just the difference in versions. Now, if you do have the straighten, what you're going to want to do is, as the textbook says, you're going to click and drag with the straighten tool along the lake's shoreline from the left to the right. So assuming that you do have that, we are going to click and drag that from the left to the right along the shoreline. And then when we release the mouse, the image should magically straighten itself. So hopefully it does. And it does. Perfect. Then we're going to type in the following parameters for the crop tool in the options bar. So again, we have the crop tool and we're going to go up here to type in the options for the crop tool. And the width is 12 inches. Let me see if this is actually the width versus the height. All right, the width is the 12 inches, and then we're going to hit the tab. I don't think that's right. In just a minute. Okay, we're going to hope this is right. 12 by 8.5. And then hit tab. And it does seem to do that. So we're going to tap or the enter or return key. And it will automatically crop to those parameters. If you make a mistake, and I make them all the time, so don't feel bad if you do. If you make a mistake, you can go to Window, and you can go down to History. And under the History panel, if you just step back a step, you'll see what we've done thus far. And you can also do that to disable the last option that you created or the last step that you took if you want to do that. And then we're going to go to View and Actual Pixels to see the, okay, let's see, it should be right in my, I'm just going to do it at 100% because I don't have actual pixels, or I don't see it here anyway. You may have actual pixels on your screen. All right, now we're going to do a file and we're going to save as. And I'm going to navigate to my Photoshop and I'm going to do new folder and I'm going to call it Kaylee Demo so I can find this again if we need to. And then you would name it, and I can do as well, Lake underscore and your name rather than mine. And PSD, and PSD is the native file format for Photoshop. All right, now you'll see that the document name is now as it's supposed to be, new named, and it is under my name and Lake, and it also has the crop and the straighten done. Now the next step is on page 7, and we're going to fix the color of the document. And you'll see on page 7 under number 1, fixing the color, it says you've probably noticed that the color of this image is too red. This can be fixed in one easy step. We're going to go to Image, and then we're going to go to Auto Color. And if you click on that, you'll see that immediately the color is fixed. Now we're going to go to Image and Adjustments. And again, this is number 2 on page 7. And we are going to go to Levels to access the levels. In the Input Levels field, by the way, the graph that looks like a mountain range is called a histogram. This is the histogram. And what this does is shows all the pixels that are in this image that we're working on. Here are where the darks are, the dark pixels, and you can see we don't have many darks. Here's the midtones, which we have a few more midtones, and here's the very lightest or highlight, and you'll see that we don't have a lot of those as well. So in the input level fields, we're going to type 32 for the leftmost number. We're going to hit Tab, and then we're going to type 1.6, and remember this is affecting the middle tones in your image. And then we're going to leave the right at 255 and click OK. And as you noticed, you started to see changes take place as we changed those lights and darks and midtones. And now in cleaning up the yard, and I'm going to take this one more step, and then I'm going to leave the rest of this to you to finish up what needs to be done with the document. And then that's the one that you upload. So you're going to select the Zoom tool, which is here on the Tools panel. And you're going to hold it once on one of the cars at the right of the house. So we want to be here at one of the cars at the right of the house. And you'll see that it automatically zooms so that we can see all of those cars. You can check the title bar of the document to see the zoom percentage. And as long as it's anywhere around 400%, the textbook says, is fine. So I would probably back out a little bit, and the way that I would do that is click on either Alt if you're on a PC or Option if you're on a Mac, and click out a little bit so that it hits about 400%, which is right there. Now we're going to select the lasso tool, and the lasso tool is here. And then we're going to click and drag around one of the cars. So let's click and drag around one of the cars right here. They've actually got part of the blue car in there too. Then we're going to tap the delete or the backspace key. And when you do that, this the dialog box comes up that says, do you want to fill it with background color, content aware, blah, blah, blah. So we are going to click on content aware, and then we're going to click OK. And how nice is that? It brings in some of the surrounding images and replaces that. And that takes us up to number 4 on page 8. I'm going to allow you to do that, the rest of this on your own, but please be sure and let me know if you have any further questions, Kaylee. I had sent you an email about meeting today at 2, but if this suffices, then let me know and we won't plan on meeting. Thank you.